Hello everyone, my name is Abram and today I'll be talking about Snowflake and I'll just give a quick introduction of what Snowflake is and what it does and why it's useful. So let's begin. So Snowflake is nothing but it's like a software as a service. You don't need to install any software. Everything is on the cloud and there's no nothing to worry about like a physical storage and there are no hardware components to begin with. And with Snowflake, you can use it for data warehousing applications, data engineering, data science, and many more data related applications. So now Snowflake is mostly with Snowflake you have like a data warehouse and also like a data lake. So they both seem similar, but one of the main differences between a data warehouse and a data lake is that like a data lake is pretty much where like you can where like an organization can just like dump the data in it. And so in other words, with the data lake, it's much more like you can have like much more unstructured data of like different file types. And with the data warehouse is much more structured, and since with the structured data, it takes time. So data warehouse is much more expensive than data lake. But one of the benefits of having a data warehouse is that like since the data is structured, it's much more easier to query and like, and get results much faster. So this is what data warehouse is, and now let's talk about like the different models of Snowflake. There's a shared dish and there's a shared nothing model. And with the shared dish model, with a shared dish, there are multiple instances and all share the same database. So by doing so, one of the benefits with the shared dish model is that since like all multiple instances share the same database, there's only one source of truth. You don't, the user or like the organization does not need to worry about losing data and so on. And with like a shared nothing, there are like multiple instances with their own relatively small databases. And one of the main benefits with that is that like in case it can have like recovery failure. So if one instance failed, there's also like another for backup. And one of the flip sides is that like it can be one of the flip sides is that since there are like multiple databases, they can be conflicting data. So these are the main two differences of Snowflake, which is shared dish and it's shared nothing. And now let's talk about like the literal Snowflake model. So now there like Snowflake, it consists of three layers: a cloud services layer, a query processing layer, and a data storage layer. Let's start all the way bottom from the data storage layer. Data storage layer is mostly like the physical part of Snowflake because it's just like the literal databases. And these databases are like not just databases but just data in general. And this data can be stored into mostly like S3 or other object storage platforms. And on top of this databases and just like data storage. And now here's the query processing layer. So whatever instructions, whether like SQL commands or anything like that, those happen here in this like virtual warehouses. So they can be multiple warehouses, virtual data warehouses, were based on the instance size. You can scale it horizontally or vertically. With by horizontally scaling, you pretty much add more instances, but with a vertically scaling instance, you increase the size of it. So from like a small to large and so on. So this is how you can scale the virtual warehouses, and there are multiple clusters of it. On top of that, there's the cloud services layer. This is the part, the cloud services part is where like the user actually interacts. The cloud services layer is the part where the users actually interact with Snowflake. This is pretty much the UI of it. You can deal with the users can deal with like authentication, security, and multiple other features and services provided by Snowflake. And one of the main benefits of Snowflake is that like with Snowflake, you don't have to stick with one cloud. You can add it to any popular cloud services, which include Azure, AWS, and GCP. And now let's talk about the Snowflake object model. On the very top, we have the organization, which is like the organization, and each organization has multiple accounts. An account doesn't have to be like a user, like an account or like a e-commerce account. An account can be either like a user account or it can be like a services account. And within each account there will be like multiple databases, and each database has its own schema. And within a schema, it can contain like a table, a stream, a task, or like multiple user defined functions. So this is pretty much a basic overview of Snowflake. And yeah, thank you very much.